Right now, we welcome to the Schilling Show Joe Bishop-Henchman, Executive Vice President, National Taxpayers Union Foundation. He's a tax lawyer and author, amongst many other things. And today, tips for successful state tax reform. I only hope the Democrats in Richmond are listening. Hello, Joe.
Great to be with you. Yep, Virginia's keeping us busy at National Taxpayers Union right now, monitoring all of these different ideas they have.
Yeah, they're all ideas for raising taxes. It's so interesting to see this playing out across the country, but I want to start off with why state tax policy is important, just the basic reasons.
Well, it's something that can have a real impact on people's lives immediately. There's obviously a lot of things politicians can do or try to do when they get into office. They could change education policy, they could change housing policy, they could change health policy. But taxes are really one of the few things where the changes you make can have almost immediate effects, for good or for bad. So a good tax reform can spur investment, it can create jobs, it can get people changing how they perceive the state immediately. But also so can bad tax ideas.
Mm-hmm. So one of the key issues I think that we need to be aware of is that there is competition between states regarding tax policy. This is very important for people who are in legislative positions to understand. But how much is this competition between states shaping what's going on in the country right now?
Well, I think I think it's really important because we've seen in the last decade a lot of states moving to flat income taxes or even no income taxes. States are making their business tax burdens a lot less. It used to be businesses were not very mobile, people were not very mobile, and you could have whatever tax system you want, whatever regulatory system you want. Doesn't matter what neighboring states do or other places do, and it'll just raise the revenue. We're not really in that world anymore. Everything is so instantaneous. Everything is so mobile that you can't really be an outlier on bad things without suffering consequences. And, I look at the list of introductions in Richmond, the admissions tax, the higher income tax, the investment tax, the hotel tax, the firearms tax, the delivery tax. It's going to make Virginia an outlier, that's for sure.
Yeah, not in a good way. Joe, let's talk about the no-tax states. I saw the map that you'd put up on your website about the progression of these states over the past, maybe 20 years or so. So what are the trends and what's happening in the states that have gone to no tax on the state level?
So right now, about half the states have either a flat income tax or no income tax. I think a lot of people may be familiar with some of the no income tax states, like Texas and Florida. Tennessee has a lot of people and a lot of businesses are moving to Tennessee. And how states have been able to do it is a combination of two things. One is putting in a plan for reducing taxes, because you can't always do it right away, obviously. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes planning to do it. And so it's something actually D.C. helped invent when they cut their business taxes about a decade ago, which is putting in a trigger in the law that says if revenue exceeds expectations next year or the year after by a certain amount, we will use that revenue not for growing spending, but for reducing tax burdens. And that trigger has been used by that type of trigger has been used by dozens of states across the country. And the other thing is just showing restraint in spending growth. Uh-huh. If you're able to grow your spending not at the levels a lot of states have been growing lately, but something closer to population or inflation or the growth of any income even, that creates some room to be able to reduce taxes.
So reducing the tax burden is very important, and yet what we see here in Virginia over the past 4 years was there was a proposal because we were swimming in so much extra money that Youngkin wanted to cut the tax rate, and yet the Democrats and maybe some Republicans said, no, we're not going to do that. We'll give back a rebate, which really wasn't based on how much you paid in to the system. So how do we get states like Virginia to do the right thing and give the money back or reduce the tax rate, because we're getting fleeced?
Yeah, and it was a real missed opportunity to make changes. Especially, big tax changes are easier to do when you do have a surplus that you could put towards paying down some of these tax bills. So the question you asked is a great one. It's a big reason we put out the report that we did. It's at NTU.org, and it lays out some steps to think about it, which is, start with principles, decide what you want to do, figure out how to do it over a number of years, come up with a plan to do it, and be building for the state you want, not just to help out or to use the tax code to reward or punish people you already know.
There is a really excellent proposal, at least being discussed in Florida right now. We've got about a minute left, but DeSantis would like to abolish property taxes. I'd be all in favor of it. Do you think that's a practical approach and that could happen in Florida?
It comes down to where the money will still come from. Now, Florida does have some good spending restraint. I think the population in Florida is about equivalent to the population in New York now, but Florida spends a whole lot less for New York for the services that they deliver. If we're able to replicate that across the local governments, it might be something that's feasible. But the devil's in the details, as they always say.
Joe Bishop-Henchman, if people want to visit you to see this report or the work that you're doing at NTUF, tell us how, please.
Visit us at NTU.org and us at National Taxpayers Union, and keep an eye on everything, including the tax proposals working their way through Richmond.
We're watching. Joe Bishop-Henchman, thanks for joining us today on The Schilling Show.
Anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.